When you think of horror movies, do you think of Hereditary, Saw, Conjuring? What if I told you there's a movie that can capture all of the horror from those movies and puts it all into one 12-minute short? And it is absolutely terrifying. Over the past few years, I've watched many horror movies, but there's one movie, a short film, that always haunts me. Every single time I try to think of a horror movie, this film comes to mind. This movie is only 12 minutes long, and in every single way, it is haunting. My House Walkthrough from 2016 starts innocently. Shots of tamami mats, sliding doors, quiet hallways, and the narrator tells us that this is not a horror video, which is quite funny because in every single way, it's terrifying. It is a horror video. It is. And it's a movie I want to share with you and encourage you to watch because I never really hear people talking about it or discussing it, even though it has almost 5 million views. It's on YouTube, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. This horror movie that's incredible is on YouTube. Shot in first-person POV, the film slowly upends your sense of place. Grainy analog footage, the sounds of rain, peeling walls. The setting isn't just creepy, it slowly evolves into something terrifying. Hallways stretch impossibly, rooms loop in on themselves, and by the end, what seems like a normal old house has turned knowingly into something extremely sinister. On paper, it doesn't sound like much actually happens in the movie because it's just a guy walking around in his house over and over. But it's the repetition that's hypnotic because every loop reveals the same rooms, but with subtle, horrific changes. Dolls appear, ceilings rot, water stains appear. Our narrator states that this is the longest hallway, that a typhoon is in Japan, and those reassuring lines eventually echo like a mantra from a broken mind. I feel like this film works really well because it's relatable. Not everyone lives in a house like this, but when you're home alone and it's dark, we start to imagine strange scenarios. What if someone's behind me when I'm walking up the stairs? What if someone's in the house with me? These weird ideas often come into our minds. Well, it does for me. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit odd, but I always think about these things as I'm walking up the stairs. I look back and I'm like, what if someone's actually behind me? And because of that relatability, I think this movie works extremely well. But it's interesting to reflect on the question, why does this movie actually work? There are 4 main points that I should mention: minimal dialogue and maximal dread. Everything is shown to us, not told, and the subtitles are minimal, and we eventually realize the true horror of the house. The cinematic tension, the analog visuals, the slow pacing creates psychological dread. Space as character. The looping corridors shift from setting to mental trap. You always expect a massive jump scare, but nothing ever comes. And finally, the haunting reveal. It's not a cheap scare, it's just something unresolved, and grief embodies itself in architecture. This movie is absolutely unforgettable, and everybody should go watch it. Close the curtains, make sure the room is dark. Give this short your full attention. It's only 12 minutes long, but it is incredible, especially if you love horror movies. So who should actually watch this movie? I feel like everybody should watch this. If you're into horror movies in any way, you have to watch this short. It's 12 minutes that you will not regret. If you're looking for something really flashy, for like jump scares, then maybe this isn't for you, but it's still 12 minutes long, so definitely watch it. You will, I can't emphasize it enough. You will not regret watching this short movie. But I think it's important to adapt, to challenge yourself and try new things. So if you're not really into like super subtle horror movies, give this a go. Just trust me. Just trust me. And if you're feeling really curious at the end of the movie, you can watch the behind the scenes of how they made this. It's just absolutely fascinating. It's iconic. That's all I really have to say about this movie. I don't really want to give away too much. I think you should just close the curtains, give yourself to this movie for 12 minutes and just enjoy the ride. And if you're not into horror movies, then maybe skip this one. But if you're into horror in any way, just even a little bit, check this out. It's on YouTube. I will definitely link it in the description. But that's everything I have to say. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.